You know, we've already had the A-Wing, and now we're already getting into the B-Wing. Although at least the B-Wing's a prototype here, so I'm kind of with that. Why does the B-Wing have the coalition beam, though? Right? It's, the Death Star thing. There's probably a proper term for that. I don't know. StarCraft 2, Protons, So, why? It's just such a weird thing to add to the B-Wing. I'm sorry, but the B-Wing's already a death machine. Oh, sure, it's not as maneuverable or as fast as some of the other craft, but it's got lots of shields, lots of armor, lots of guns, ion cannons, and plenty of missile bays. It's an assault craft. It's one step down. It can literally overpower some actual, Corvette grade or smaller capital ships, for God's sakes. So we just had to add the death beam on top of everything else. Whatever. It's cool to see it, and they do a good job of showing it off. And we get a little more backstory for Hera, too. So that's nice, being able to learn more about her and how she was involved in the Ryloth thing back during Clone Wars. That's cool. Horrible, actually, but, cool to know. I had a note here saying they doubled their work and cut their rations. And the first thing I wrote was, why? But then we see the rebels coming in with the relief fleet. And it's like, oh, of course, that's why. It's here to be a trap. They're literally stomping on the populace to lure the rebels in. And that actually does make sense. You know what doesn't make sense? The fact that their blockade is probably about 1 kilometer wide. I know. Star Wars always does that wrong, but it always bugs me. We must defend this entire planet. It's like if I wanted to defend my entire body with one molecule. It's just this, nothing will get past this. Anyways. I can't think of the name of the gentleman, but I do like the guy who's the designer. Of course he's a Mon Calamari. Of course he is. Those guys are geniuses. I sometimes wonder if maybe genius is a chip design, I should say. Maybe if the Empire had treated the Mon Calamari better and actually gotten them to design ships and stuff for them, maybe that might have worked out better. No, instead the Mon Cal cruisers will be going to the rebels because, I don't know, because the Empire's stupid and evil? I mean, they're stepping on people to lure in rebels. What do you want from me? As an aside, and I know, I said I wouldn't really comment on this anymore, but I just have to mention how nice it's been, how through most of Season 2, we haven't seen Imperial Star Destroyers. We've been seeing smaller ships, little light cruisers or fighters or whatever. Just local stuff, which makes more sense for me. But anyways. So, looking at my notes, I do like how Hera's been promoted to squad leader. I've already made this comment that she's the rebel. But what I mean by rebel is member of the Rebel Alliance. She's the military. She is actually the person who's in charge. The Leia kind of character, if you will. So it makes sense that she would actually be both granted and then accept as an honor this new type of responsibility, being the squadron commander of this particular rebel cell. I like that. It's a nice little touch. It's a shame her first mission at the beginning of this, episode kind of led to them losing a ship. Like, those ships are hard to come by, right? We don't have too many of those, I'm just saying. So I can't help but notice something, and I don't mind this. So far, with only a couple of exceptions, a lot of Season 2 has basically just been day-in-the-life kind of stories. Oh, sure, there's been stakes, but what I mean by that is this is the day-in-the-life of a rebel. They're no longer the smuggler crew trying to make ends meet. They are the rebel crew trying to strike back at the Empire and try to help people throughout the sector. It is literally the same type of story, it's just their lives have shifted, and I do like that new perspective. It's been good. I am curious if the main narrative will actually pick up at any point in Season 2. I'm not actually sure, because, again, I know some of the broad strokes of the story, but I haven't actually watched this show yet. I'll be curious to see where we go with that next time.